Good evening, one and all. Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the International Webinar Series on Holistic Health, Well-being, and Sustainable Development 2025, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 80 years of independence and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030. As part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations and celebrations. Today is commemorated as Christmas on December 25th every year, a day for spending time with family, observing, which is an important Christian holiday, partaking in light-hearted traditions, or just spreading some holiday cheer. Christmas has evolved over millennia into a worldwide celebration that has both religious and chock full of fun-filled family activities. Traditionally, Christians claim Christmas as the day on which Jesus Christ, the Son of God, was born, as per their traditions, but though there is no scientific evidence about that, proving that. And although many of Christians, Christmas Day rituals and traditions evolved from a singular moment. That's not the whole story. Although there are various, myths and about Christmas. So the fact that no one knows the exact time and place of birth, whether Jesus was born ever, and in the Bible, it's also New Testament. Apostles Matthew, Mark, Luke, John share similar stories, but they never actually name the date of Jesus' birth. December 25th is largely attributed to the first Christian historian, Sextus Julius Africanus, around 221 AD. In one view of why December 25th was chosen was an official date for Christmas, historians believe early church wanted to link the Son of God's birth, which they think is Jesus, and rebirth of the Sun, which arrives after winter equinox. So a second view bases the date around Jesus' date of conception on March 25th at the spring equinox, and December 25th would then be the date of Jesus' birth, exactly 9 months later. So at one point, the church designated January 6th as Jesus' baptismal date and the correct date of Christmas. But by 9th century, Christmas was observed only as a minor holiday. By the Middle Ages, Europeans created some of the Christmas customs which have been recognized today. In Strasbourg, apple decorated fir trees appeared in homes during 17th and 18th centuries, and people started to give gifts as symbols of magic arriving in Bethlehem with offerings of the newborn Jesus. By the 19th century, fir wreaths laden with 24 candles representing the 24 days before Christmas were later reduced to a much safer 4 candles. Eventually, Christmas traditions spread beyond Europe to Latin and North America and other places around the world. But still, the myth or whatever we call is still, it is unclear whether Jesus was born and when, if he has born ever, and when and where he was born. But keeping those things aside, this is a day for family gathering, for Christians especially, and celebrate and spread the cheer to those around them. In doing so, help enjoy holiday more. So organize a special potluck dinner with your friends and family. One of the most important traditions of Christmas season is to gather with those you care about and make winter a little warmer. By sharing the warmth of compassion with them, your friends and family will live with stomachs full of food and hearts filled with happiness. So you can see how Christmas, which was initiated, was entirely different from now. And the festival, instead of promoting peace, harmony, and a family gathering, like many social evils and other kinds of practices that have crept into festivals, even Christmas also is filled with lot of activities that harm the environment and also the health and well-being of people, a major population. If you see festival, any festival should promote health, well-being, and also the environment. But unfortunately, nowadays festivals are promoting unhealthy practices like drinking, smoking, vaping, and all kind of these which are harmful for health. And we see alcohol is one of the third largest killer in the world, and we see a lot of alcohol being consumed and lot of animal cruelty by killing a lot of animals. Meat is served as part of the festive season. So many animals are killed, brutally tortured, so much pain given, and that too in the name of festival, so much of bloodshed across the world, and and a lot of environmental pollution, and due to animal farming, lot of greenhouse gas emission, unhygienic pollutants left, and so many issues are crept in. A festival should always, we can celebrate the festival without all these, without any impact or negative impact on health, well-being, and also the environment. We see, approximately in 2015, 26 million Christmas trees were purchased at an average cost of dollars, 50.82 each, and 26 million Xmas trees were cut and chopped down, and transported. Lot of transportation costs and lot of deforestation, and lot of waste. All this goes after and those who are not buying natural trees, they are depending on plastic trees. Again, plastic pollution and lot of decorations that goes with the artificial trees and natural trees, like lot of plastic and other toxic substances, chemicals that are used for the decoration and lighting, lot of light pollution which are being used for the decorations, energy gets wasted. So all these things, we should consider. And as we are celebrating a holy day, it should also promote health and well-being, and also it should promote practices such as protecting the environment and fostering the environment and the green and clean environment, and practices which are not harmful to environment. And lot of animal cruelty, because lot of meat is consumed on this day, and alcohol is consumed in the name of celebrations. Again, alcohol has no single known benefit. So, by drinking and intoxication, people are causing self-harm, and also they are causing accidents by drink and drive, and not only to them, but also people traveling on road by hitting other vehicles or people, animals. And because of the intoxication, they are losing their consciousness and creating a lot of troubles. And because of excessive addiction, they are getting addict, they are having a lot of health issues. And all these, we have a lot of impacts, negatively impacts, and degradation of health because of alcohol, and a lot of drugs are consumed, in the party celebrations to feel themselves high, and stay in the consciousness of trance, to achieve the trance, so that they can party all the night. And all these things are happening, which is not at all good for any festival, for any festival, not just this festival, but because New Year is near, and though it is just a change of date, though it has barely any scientific evidence, and this entire week is a holiday week, and this follows this entire holiday season, lot of drinking, lot of smoking, and all illicit sex, and all kind of these create lot of problems. We see teenage pregnancies and unwanted pregnancies, and HIV is also increasing because of illicit activities, and drug abuse, lot of drug, because of people want to feel high and energetic, and they consume lot of drugs, which is also not good for health. So all these, see, let's take a pledge this day that we will keep ourselves away from all these vices, where all these which cause lot of health issues, not only social, physical health, but also mental health, psychological health, social health, economical health, financial health, and various things. These are bad habits, our moral weaknesses, or immoral, unethical practices, often, you know, seen as our vulnerabilities, character flaws, which occurs recurringly, and engaging in all these kinds of antisocial, illegal, immoral, unethical, degrading activities, like illicit sex or drugs, or, alcohol, or, all these things, which is not at all, and that too in the name of God. If we are doing all these things, then it's a great sin that we are committing on this day. And in the name of cards, greeting cards, and lot of wastage is generated, and that is causing harm, and lot of, to prepare these cards, lot of trees are cut down and paper is made, Now, with the advent of computers, we can also send greetings online, so that can reduce the carbon footprint. And people almost send, at least a minimum of $29.14, for each card. And it is it is creating a destruction of trees, and about a lot of gifts that are being shared, because of unhealthy packaging. Lot of packaging waste and goes, and gifts also, which are not made from environment friendly materials, that cause a huge pollution. And most of the gifts that are bought on this day are generally regifted because they don't need them. So unnecessary gifts that causes a huge, wastage, and these are just thrown out of the house in the next day. And as we also celebrate tomorrow, there is also a waste drive that happens after the Christmas day, where a lot of waste that is generated either in the form of Christmas trees or either in the form of packaging that is used, and lot of leftover foods which gets wasted. It is creating a huge pollution, and wastage of resources as such. So all these things has to be kept in mind, so that any festivity or any celebration should not cause any kind of destruction, any kind of damage to the human beings, animals, as well as the environment. So friendly practices are very much required, because when we are saying holy, it should be holy for everyone, not only for humans, for animals, for environment. And holy itself, it should promote health, well-being, and sustainable development. If anything, if it is against, then we cannot call it as holy. So it is everyone's responsibility to behave in a responsible manner to promote health, peace, harmony, and sustainable development. As this day mainly focuses on getting together and their family gatherings, so healthy practices serve the purpose, and this gathering also should promote veganism rather than animal cruelty, animal suffering, and so on. And it's a reminder, and remember, the gesture of love, kindness, and forgiveness, not just among human beings, but towards animals and also the environment. Today is also commemorated as Good Governance Day in India on occasion of Atal Bihari Vajpayee, the former Prime Minister of India. The Good Governance Day, which promotes accountable, inclusive, and efficient governance measured through the Good Governance Index. So, Good Governance Day is celebrated on December 25th, commemorates the birth anniversary of the former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, and it is celebrated to promote accountability, transparency, and citizen centric public service. The Good Governance Index is a diagnostic tool developed by the Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances to measure governance across the states and union territories. It measures governance across the sectors, while multiple indicators supporting evidence based reforms and state duties benchmark. Good Governance Day is observed annually on December 25th on the birth anniversary of former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, whose leadership emphasized accountability, transparency, and inclusive growth. The day reminds that the government is not just about administration, but making life better for every citizen. To commemorate his values, the Prime Minister, the Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions publishes the Good Governance Index, a composite assessment of governance performance across states and union territories, translating policy intent into measurable, citizen-centric outcomes. Week-long celebrations spread the concept of good governance. From districts to villages, India has recorded progress across the sectors given by implementation of multiple national schemes as per the data. Atal Bihari Vajpayee is man of the masses. Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee, born in 1924 and attained moksha in 2018, served as the Prime Minister of India. On 3 occasions, he had a distinguished 4-decade parliamentary career, was elected 9 times to the Lok Sabha and twice to the Rajya Sabha, rising from a humble beginnings in Gwalior to the India's highest office. He received the Padma Vibhushan in 1992 for his selfless dedication to the nation and was conferred with Bharat Ratna, India's highest civilian honor, in 2015. Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee championed democratic ideals, women's empowerment, and social equality. As Prime Minister, he prioritized good governance and economic development, building national highways, rural roads, expanding telecom, and improving infrastructure. His legacy continues to guide India's visionary and focus on transparency, accountability, and efficient citizen-centric service delivery. Named the best parliamentarian in 1994, thus cited praised him as a multifaceted personality whose work consistently reflected an unwavering commitment to nationalism, building on the vision the Government of India measures and promotes good governance systematically across the nation. Good governance is participatory, consensus oriented, accountable, transparent, responsive, effective, efficient, equitable, and inclusive, and follows the rule of law according to the United Nations. So, measuring good governance with as Good Governance Index, the Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances, in short known as DARPG, introduced the Good Governance Index on December 25, 2019 to evaluate governance performance across states and union territories and encourage improvement. Good governance is crucial for the welfare of the citizens, inclusive development, and the country's economic transformation. The index identifies 10 key sectors. Governance performance across these sectors is measurable in terms of 58 indicators designed keeping citizen-centric in mind. So categories of states and union territories given wide disparities in geography, population and development levels. DRPG categorized states and union territories into 4 groups for the fair comparison as per the 2020-21 index. These are Group A states: Andhra Pradesh, Goa, Gujarat, Haryana, Karnataka, Kerala, Maharashtra, Punjab, Tamil Nadu, and Telangana. Group B states: Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, and Northeast and Hill states: Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Sikkim, Tripura, Uttarakhand. Union territories: Andaman Nicobar Islands, Chandigarh, Dadra and Nagar Haveli, Daman and Diu, and Lakshadweep, Delhi, and Puducherry. So coming to top performers in Good Governance Index in 2020-21. The first rank goes to Gujarat, and the second rank goes to Maharashtra, and the third rank goes to Goa. Group B states, first rank goes to Madhya Pradesh, second rank goes to Rajasthan, and third rank goes to Chhattisgarh. And among union territories, first rank goes to Himachal Pradesh, second to Mizoram, and under union territories, first rank goes to Delhi. So Good Governance Index 2019 top performers were Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Himachal Pradesh, and Puducherry. So national sector-wise program on selected indices. So India's progress across every sector of Good Governance Index reflects a sustained commitment to transparent, accountable, and citizen-centric administration. In agriculture and allied sector, progress in the agriculture and allied sector is reflected through the following key indices, like growth of agriculture and allied sector, growth of food grains production, growth of horticulture produce, growth of milk production, growth of meat production, growth of egg poultry production, crop insurance, agri mandis enrolled as e-markets. In commerce and industry, progress in the commerce industry sector is reflected through the following key indices: ease of doing business, growth of industries, change in number of MSME units registered under online Udyog Aadhar registration, increase in number of establishments registered under GST, startup environment. Under human resource development, progress in the human resource development sector is reflected to the following key indices: quality of education, retention rate of at elementary school, gender parity, enrollment ratio of SC and ST, schools with access to computers for pedagogical purposes, working computers, skill trainings imparted, placement ratio including self-employment. Progress in public health sector is reflected through following key indices: operationalization of health and wellness centers, availability of doctors at PHCs, public health, maternal health rate, maternal mortality rate, infant mortality rate, immunization achievement, number of hospital beds per thousand population. Public health infrastructure utilities progress sector is reflected through the following key indices: access to potable water, connectivity to rural habitation, increase to access in clean cooking fuel, that is LPG, energy availability against the requirement, growth of per capita power consumption, wards urban covered by DTD waste collection, door-to-door waste collection. And progress in the economic governance sector is reflected through the following key indices: growth in per capita, GSDP, fiscal deficit as a percent of GSDP, state's own tax revenue receipts to total revenue receipts, debt total outstanding liabilities to GSDP. Progress in social welfare and development sector is reflected through the following key indices: sex ratio at birth, health insurance coverage, rural employment guarantee, unemployment rate, housing for all, economic empowerment of women, empowerment of SCs, STs, OBCs, and minorities, disposal of SC/ST atrocity cases by courts, banking courts per thousand population, Aadhar seeded ration cards. Progress in the judiciary and public safety sector is reflected through the following key indices: conviction rate, availability of police personnel, proportion of women police personnel, disposal of court cases, disposal of cases by consumer courts. Progress in the environment sector is reflected through the following key indices: change in forest cover, proportion of waste recycled versus waste generated, percentage of degraded land, growth in the installed capacity of grid interactive renewable power. Progress in the citizen-centric governance sector is reflected through the following key indices: enactment of Right to Services Act by the states, grievance redressal status, government services provided online to citizens. So, conference and sessions on good governance in 2025. The DARPG conducted various conferences, webinars, and sessions on good governance and related topics. The 28th National Conference on E-Governance, NCEGs, was conducted on September 22nd till 23rd, 2025, Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh, themed Viksit Bharat, Civil Service and Digital Transformations. The conference hosted 1,000 plus delegates and conferred national awards for e-governance. The Visakhapatnam Declaration was adopted to advance digital governance aligned with Viksit Bharat 2047. International Institute of Administrative Science DARPG Conference February 10 to 14, 2025, New Delhi, featured 66 breakout sessions, 7 plenary sessions, and 750 plus delegates from 58 countries, released a 710-page volume, Viksit Bharat, the 2047 Governance Transform. Secretary DARPG V. Srinivas became India's first IIAS president 2025 to 2008, winning with 62% of votes. States Collaborative Initiative Scheme, SEI 2025, 2 national outreach sessions with state UT governments generated 80 plus project proposals for AI-enabled platforms online, service portal, and the real-time dashboards. A dedicated SEI portal tracks progress and outcomes. So Good Governance Day 2025 honors Atal Bihari Vajpayee's vision of accountable, citizen-centric governance. The Good Governance Index serves as a robust benchmark to assess the performance of states and UTs across the sectors. Driving evidence-based reforms, India's progress demonstrates that systematic measurement and founded governance yield results. As the nation advances towards Viksit Bharat 2047, strengthening good governance through innovation and inclusive policies remains key to achieving equitable, sustainable growth. Today is also commemorated as Gold Mile Day. In Ireland, Gold Mile is held throughout December in various parts of the Ireland and is the world at large. Though it's mostly celebrated on Christmas Day on December 25th, it is one of the Ireland's most popular annual events and is also seen as a Christmas tradition for many Irish families. Gold Mile events are run by individuals and communities across the nation. The practice was first established in 1982 when Niall Carroll, the chairperson of Gold Global, asked local people to run a mile with the Phoenix Park on Christmas morning for the organization. It has been an annual tradition since then. Day is also commemorated as National Pumpkin Pie Day, the symbol of harvest season in fall and desert passed around most at the Christmas table gets its special day on National Pumpkin Pie Day, December 25th, featuring a pie shell base filled with pumpkin custard. Pumpkin pies are garnished and served with various spices like cinnamon, nutmeg, and ginger. So today we are also commemorating Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee's birthday or Jayanti. Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji was an independent poet, writer, statesman who served as the Prime Minister of India, first for a term of 13 days in 1996, then for a period of 13 months from 1998 to 1999, followed by a full term from 1999 to 2004. He was the first non-Congress Prime Minister to serve a full term in office. Vajpayee was one of the co-founders and a senior leader of the Bharatiya Janata Party (BJP). He was a volunteer and full-time functionary, pracharak on of the Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh (RSS), a right-wing Hindutva paramilitary voluntary organization. He was also a Hindu poet and a writer. The Sang's emphasis on self-cultivation and discipline, nation building, left a lasting mark on Vajpayee's early worldview. Scholars have observed that Vajpayee combined cultural nationalism with political moderation, shaping a distinctive strand of post-independence Indian conservatism rooted in civilizational identity. His speeches and poetry are noted for blending political pragmatism with themes drawn from India's cultural and philosophical traditions. Vajpayee represented a current in Hindu nationalism that sought to harmonize cultural identity with democratic pluralism. The longest serving member of the Indian Parliament and its lower house, the Lok Sabha, Vajpayee was a parliamentarian for over 5 decades, having been elected 10 times to the Lok Sabha and twice to the Rajya Sabha and the upper house of parliament. He served as a member of parliament from Lucknow, Gwalior, New Delhi, and Balrampur constituencies. Before retiring from active politics in 2009 due to health concerns, he was among the founding members of the Bharatiya Janasangh (BJS), of which he was president from 1968 to 1972. The BJS merged with several other parties to form Janata Party, which won the 1977 general election. In March 1997, Vajpayee became the Minister of External Affairs in the cabinet of Prime Minister Morarji Desai. He resigned in 1979 and the Janata Alliance collapsed soon after. The former members of the Bharatiya Janasangh formed BJP in 1980 with the Vajpayee as its first president. During his tenure as Prime Minister, India carried out the Pokhran 2 nuclear tests in 1998. India's emerging nuclear posture connects national self assertion with Vajpayee's doctrine. Vajpayee sought to improve diplomatic relationships with Pakistan, traveling by bus to Lahore to meet the Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif after the 1999 Kargil War with Pakistan. He sought to restore relationships through engagement with President Pervez Musharraf, inviting him to India for a summit at Agra. Vajpayee's government introduced many domestic economic and infrastructural reforms, including encouraging the private sector and foreign investments, reducing governmental waste, encouraging research and development, and the privatization of some government owned corporations. During Vajpayee's tenure, India faced major security challenges, including the 1999 Kargil intrusion by Pakistan backed forces, the 2001 Indian Parliament attack carried out by Pakistan based jihadist group, and a series of high casualty terrorist strikes in Jammu Kashmir. The Parliament attack, in particular, led to operations Parakram, one of the largest post-independence military mobilization, and significantly altered the India's national security posture. The 2002 Gujarat riots, followed by the burning of coaches 6 of the Sabarmati Express at Godhra, in which 59 passengers, mostly Ram Sevaks returning from Ayodhya, were killed after a mob attacked the train from outside and set it on fire. This was an incident that moved national and international matters. Vajpayee was conferred with the Padma Vibhushan in 1992, India's second highest civilian award by the Government of India. The administration of Narendra Modi ji declared in 2014 that Vajpayee's birthday, 25th December, would be marked as Good Governance Day. In 2015, he was honored India's highest civilian honor, Bharat Ratna, by the then President of India, Pranab Mukherjee, and he died in 2018 due to age-related illness. In May 1998, India conducted 5 underground nuclear tests in the Pokhran Desert in Rajasthan. 24 years after its first nuclear test operation, Smiling Buddha, in 1974, 2 weeks later, Pakistan responded with its own nuclear test, making it the newest nation with declared nuclear capacity. While some nations, such as France, endorsed India's right to defensive nuclear power, others, including the United States, Canada, Japan, Britain, and the European Union, imposed sanctions on the information resources and technology to India. In spite of intense international pressure and steady decline in foreign investment and trade, the nuclear tests were popular domestically. In effect, the international sanctions imposed failed to sway India from weaponizing its nuclear capability. The US sanctions against India and Pakistan were eventually lifted after just 6 months. Several commentators interpreted the test as an assertion of strategic autonomy and national self defense, consistent with Vajpayee's view of India as a civilizational state entitled to a secure and independent global role. Srinath Raghavan notes international support India gained during and after the Kargil War. In 2005 December, Vajpayee announced his retirement from active politics, declaring that he would not contest in the next general election. In a famous statement at the BJP Silver Jubilee rally at Mumbai's Shivaji Park, Vajpayee announced that henceforth Lal Krishna Advani and Pramod Mahajan will be the Ram Lakshman, the two godly brothers much revered and worshipped by the Hindus and the BJP. In 2007, Trinamool Congress leader Mamata Banerjee proposed his name for 2007 presidential polls, but he denied it. Vajpayee was referred to as Bhishma Pitama of Indian politics by former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh during a speech in the Rajya Sabha, a reference to the character in the Hindu epic Mahabharata, who was held in respect by two warring sides. Vajpayee was hospitalized at All India Institute of Medical Sciences, AIIMS, Delhi, for the chest infection and fever on 6 February 2009, and he was put on ventilator support as his condition worsened, but he eventually recuperated and was later discharged. Unable to participate in the campaign for the 2009 general election due to his poor health, he wrote a letter urging voters to back the BJP. His protect Lalji Tandon was able to retain the Lucknow seat in that election, even though NDA suffered electoral reverses all over the country. It was speculated that Vajpayee's non-partisan appeal contributed to Lalji's success in Lucknow, in contrast to that BJP's poor performance in elsewhere in UP. So he held various positions since 1951 till 2004. And Vajpayee remained a bachelor for his entire life. He adopted and raised Namita Bhattacharya as his own child, the daughter of longtime friend Rajkumari Kaul and her husband B.N. Kaul. His adopted family lived with him. Unlike purist Brahmins who shun meat and alcohol, Vajpayee was known to be fond, who was a noted poet writing in Hindi. His published works include Kaidi Kaviraj Ki Kundaliya, a collection of poems written during the 1975 to 1977 emergency, and Amar Aag Hai. With regard to his poetry, he wrote, "My poetry is a declaration of war, not an exordium to defeat. It is not the defeated soldier's drumbeat of despair, but the fighting warrior's will to win. It's not the desperated voice of dejection, but the string shout of the victory." So Vajpayee had a stroke in 2009, which impaired his speech. His health had been a major source of concern. Reports said that he was reliant on a wheelchair and failed to recognize people, and he also had dementia and long-term diabetes. For many years, he had not attended any public engagements and rarely ventured out of house except for his checkups at the AIIMS. On 11th June 2018, Vajpayee was admitted to AIIMS in critical condition following a kidney infection, and he was officially declared dead there at 5:05 p.m. on 16th August 2018 at the age of 93. A 7-day state mourning was announced by the central government throughout India. The national flag flew half-mast during this period. And he received various awards and honors in India, Bharat Ratna in 2015, Padma Vibhushan in 1992. Foreign honors include Order of Ausium Alut Grand Cordon in 1999, and from Bangladesh Liberation War Honor in 2015. And he also been awarded with honorary degrees from Kanpur University, Doctor of Letters, D.Lit, in 1983. Other awards include Lokamanya Tilak National Award in 1994, Outstanding Parliamentarian Award in 1994, Pandit Govind Vallabh Pant Award in 1994. And he was recognized and was named one of the 100 most influential persons by the Time magazine in 2004. And Vajpayee was ranked number 9 in Outlook magazine poll of the greatest Indian in 2012. In August 2018, Naya Rajpur was renamed as Atal Nagar. In October 2018, 4 Himalayan peaks near Gangotri Glacier, Atal 1, Atal 2, Atal 3, Atal 4, are named after him. Vajpayee authored several works for both Hindi poetry and prose. Some of his major publications are made of his, and various collections were made of his speeches, articles, and slogans. Prose include National Integration, 1961, New Dimensions of India's Foreign Policy, 1979, Gathbandhan Ki Rajniti, Kuch Lekh, Kuch Bhasha, Bindu Bindu Vichar, 1997, Decisive Days, 1999, Sankalpakal in 1999, Vichar Bindu, Hindu edition in 2000, India's Perspectives of ASEAN and the Asia Pacific region, 2003, Na Darya, Na Palayanam, Nai Chunati, Nai Avasar. Coming to poetry, कैदी कविराज की कुंडलियां, अमर आग है, मेरी 51 कविताएं. In 1995, some of these poems were set to music by Jagjit Singh for his album Samvedana, Kya Koya, Kya Paya, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Vyaktitva aur Kavitaएं in 1999, Values, Vision and Verses of Vajpayee, India's Man of Destiny in 2001, 21 poems in 2003, Chini Hui Kavitaएं in 2012. An English translation of the selection of some of Vajpayee's Hindi poetry was published in 2013. Literary critics have noted that his poetry reflects themes of moral optimism, duty, and civilizational continuity, which also shaped his public life. The Film Division of India has produced the short documentary films Pride of India, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, 1998, and Know Your Prime Minister, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, in 2003, both directed by Girish Vaidya, which explored different facets of his personality. Vajpayee also appears in a cameo in the 1977 Indian Hindi language film Chala Murari Hero Banne by Asrani. Aapki Adalat, an Indian talk show which airs on India's TV, featured an interview with Vajpayee just before the 1999 elections. Pradhan Mantri, Prime Minister, a 2013 Indian documentary television series which aired on ABP News, covers the various policies and political tenures of Indian PMs, includes the tenureship of Vajpayee, in the episodes Atal Bihari Vajpayee's 13 Days Government and India during 1996 and 1998, Pokhran II and Kargil War, and 2002 Gujarat riots and fall of Vajpayee government. Abhishek Chowdhury wrote an original portrait of Hindutva's first Prime Minister in Vajpayee, The Ascent of Hindu Right, 1924 to 1977. The book won the 2023 Tata Literature Live First Book Award. In 2019, Shiva Sharma and Zishan Ahmed, owners of Amash Films, acquired the official rights of the book, The Untold Vajpayee, written by Ulek NP, to make a biopic based on Vajpayee life from his childhood, college life, and finally turning into a politician. Hindi language film Main Atal Hoon, starting Pankaj Tripathi as Vajpayee, was theatrically released in India on 19 January 2024. Today is also commemorated as birth anniversary of Madan Mohan Malaviya, was an Indian scholar, educational reformer, and activist notable for his role in the Indian independence movement. He was the president of Indian National Congress 3 times and the founder of Akhil Bharati Hindu Mahasabha. He was addressed as Pandit, a title of respect. Malaviya is known for co-founding one of the prestigious University of India named Banaras Hindu University. Malaviya strove to promote modern education among Indians and co-founded the Banaras Hindu University, BHU at Varanasi in 1916, which was created under the 1915 BHU Act. It is the largest residential university in Asia and one of the largest in the world, with over 40,000 students across arts, commerce, sciences, engineering, linguistics, ritual medicine, agriculture, performing arts, law, management, and technology disciplines from all over the world. He was the vice chancellor of the Benares Hindu University from 1919 to 1938. Malviya was one of the founders of the Bharat Scouts and Guides. He founded a highly influential newspaper, The Leader, in 1919, published from Allahabad. He was also the chairman of Hindustan Times from 1924 to 1946. His efforts resulted in the launch of its Hindi edition named Hindustani the Hindustani Dainik in 1936. Malviya was posthumously awarded the Bharat Ratna, India's highest civilian distinction, on 24 December 2014, a day before what would have been his 153rd birthday. The slogan Satyameva Jayate, truth alone triumphs, is also a legacy of Malaviya, presiding over the Indian National Congress session of 1918 in Delhi. He declared that this phrase from the Mundaka Upanishad should be the slogan for the nation. So Malaviya started the tradition of Aarti at Har Ki Pauri Haridwar to the sacred Ganga river, which is performed even today. The Malaviya Dvipa, a small island across the Ghat, is named after him, and a bust of his was erected on it. The Indian Post issued stamps in his honor in 1961 and 2011 to celebrate his 100th and 150th birth anniversaries, respectively. He created a non-governmental organization named Sri Mathura Vrindavan Hasanand Gochar Bhumi in Vrindavan for welfare of cows. And many more. So with this, we shall end today's commemorations and celebrations. And we thank everyone for being part of this today's celebrations and commemorations. We wish you all a happy festive season. And we request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form before leaving the platform. So see you all tomorrow at the same time with the same joining link. Take care. Good night.